Year 6 teacher Sheena is working with her colleagues Kate and Emma to plan a teaching sequence within which their lesson study will sit. They want to try to develop their pedagogy to more effectively meet the particular writing development needs of their children. So they begin by agreeing upon an appropriate learning focus.
Well, I think, as you were saying earlier, Emma, one of the things that Year 6 really need to work on is writing complex sentences to advance their writing, really, isn't it? So maybe we could look at that and thinking about how they can use complex sentences in their writing. So maybe we should look at that strand.
I think what we'll probably find is that they all need some sort of input on it.
Yeah, they're starting to really start using connectives well, aren't they, to write extended sentences, but not so much using clauses.
No. And for example, Billy is using a lot of adverbs at the beginning of sentences, but no clauses.
If we could choose 3 children who were at different points in the process of becoming secure, with having clauses embedded in sentences, having them at the beginning and having at the end, it would be quite interesting to watch those 3 different children at the different stages, you know, all within the one lesson.
Yes, it would be.
And trying to work some of the teaching techniques we know we've got around their strengths and weaknesses of using them.
Yeah.
Next, they select 3 broadly representative target children from the study class so that they can use them to assess the effectiveness of the learning.
So we need to think about which children we're going to be using. And like you said, Sheena, we need children at different levels of understanding of complex sentences.
Well, from an assessment point of view, we're going to be assessing the children with the APP framework. So it would make sense, really, if we're going to do some extra observing, to take some of that and use it as our evidence. So we could perhaps take a child from 3 of the different groups, covering as broad a spectrum as we can across the class.
Yeah. I'd actually quite like to see how Finn works within a classroom. I'd like to be able to have the opportunity to watch him, really, and with a different teacher, to see how he responds to small group work.
Then they establish a baseline for each of the children using APP criteria and carefully define desired outcomes against which they will be able to evaluate how effective the learning has been.
We've got a range of abilities. Should we have a look at the different objectives and work out what we're going to want them to do? So we're looking at technical accuracy, aren't we?
So here we've got commas used in lists, but also occasionally to mark clauses, although not always accurately.
So AF6, level 4. You're at level 5, yeah.
Okay, so if we just decide the success criteria for each child.
Okay, should we start with Billy?
Yeah.
What do we think Billy will be able to do at the end of the lesson?
Well, because he's not really using clauses at all, maybe we just need him at the moment to be able to put one at the start of a sentence accurately and punctuate it correctly.
Yeah.
Would that be enough?
Yeah.
I think I'd be happy if he could independently use a clause with the correct punctuation at the beginning of a sentence.
Yeah.